Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Danielle, aka Stitcherista here on YouTube, and today is going to be another diamond paint with me while I continue working on Treasure Studios art, Cherry Blossom by Lizzie Falcon, and it will be a true crime story time. I just had a coughing fit, so my eyes are watering. I am feeling better, even better today. Today is probably the best day that I've felt since this whole thing started, so that's good. Just keep getting better and better, right? I feel like today I'll be able to get away with not taking any kind of cold medicine during the day. Today's job starts at 2 o'clock, so I have some time today. And tomorrow's job doesn't start till 1 o'clock, so some weeks we have it like that, right? And like I said, I don't really complain when that kind of thing happens. Okay, so I did have 3 coffees bought for me yesterday by Samantha Lacates. And she says, I love your videos. I'm glad you're feeling better. I hope you enjoy your coffees. Samantha, thank you so very much. And I actually received a present from a subscriber yesterday from Amazon. Amazon came and I'm like, I didn't order anything that should be here today because, you know, I order stuff from Amazon. House stuff. It's not just stuff like for me personally, but house stuff and all kinds of things. And I check my orders every day so I know, you know, to expect something or not. And when they came, I was like, what's that? Well, it is from Kristen. And she says, hello, I have been watching your videos for about 8 months and love how you just tell it like it is. I'm currently on my 25th round of immunotherapy and trying to kick cancer's ass. Keep on making your great videos. Kristen, I'm so sorry you were going through that. I know exactly how you're feeling. Well, I don't want to say that, but having gone through cancer treatment myself, I know how difficult it can be on a daily basis. And let me tell you, when I say that stitching, because I wasn't diamond painting then, stitching, cross stitching, was literally my saving grace during that year. Because if I wouldn't have had like floss tube and cross stitch to like get my mind off of everything going on, I don't know what I would have done. So I completely understand. Crafting saved my life, right? Yeah. And, you know, currently it makes me not want to kill people. Yeah, no. Kristen, thank you so much. So what did Kristen send me? So I always have a bunch of stuff on my wish list because I'm just like that. And I love earrings that are like post earrings. I don't like the dangly ones. She sent me these. Aren't these gorgeous? Look at those. They're so cute. But they're like iridescent. See how they're like rainbow when you tilt them that way? Oh my God. I died. They are, this is the brand. Crystals from Austria. Oh my God. Kristen, thank you so much. I absolutely love them. I'm actually going to wear them today. Yeah. Okay, so let's get the autofocus off of there. All right, so last night, like I said, I was off yesterday. Got the videos done. Doesn't Cruella look fantastic from Treasure Studios art? Oh my God. Yeah, I really think my next one's going to be Maleficent though. And someone asked me a question and said, you know, what size did you get for Cherry Blossom and Sugar Rush when you ordered, and would you have gotten the bigger size? I actually think now that I've seen the middle size, going forward, I think I'm going to get the middle size from now on. It's not too hateful as far as size. And because this is only, I want to say, a 40 by 60, I think this is. The middle size is 60 by 80. So it would be more detail in it. Excuse me if I cough through some of this video. And I love the detail in this, don't get me wrong, but do I wish I would have ordered the bigger size? Yeah, I probably, yeah. So going forward, I will order the bigger size. Definitely. The middle size seems to be, you know, pretty good. And what I also like about Lizzie Falcon's work in Treasure Studios art is that there aren't like a lot of colors. I mean, I think Cruella had 33. That is quite a bit, but I can fit 33 bags on my little laptop table. That's another great thing I love about them is that there's no kitting up for me because I work right out of the bags. And I absolutely love that because anything that just gets me started, you know. Now I think next time, although it would cover up the key, I think I'm going to put washi tape around the outside because this is unsightly, like the adhesive that's on the edge. I do have thin washi tape. Maybe I just need to use thin or cut it when it gets to the key so it doesn't cover the key. Or I could just save the inventory sheet. That's what I probably really need to do. Save the inventory sheet and have it like next to me here. And then I wouldn't even have to worry about it. Yeah. But yeah, I think next time I'm going to put washi tape around the outside because it just also looks nice as you're diamond painting. All about the aesthetic, right? Okay, so last night, what do we have for dinner? Like I said, I was done work. I mean, I didn't have work. I had some stuff to do for work, but I did video stuff and did house stuff and got some stuff done. And Bill came home and I was still in my office. I forget what I was doing. I was doing something on the computer. And then he cut the grass. It was really hot here yesterday again. And then we had dinner at like 6. What did we have? Oh, we had BLTs. That's right. And with mine, I had a little bit of my Parmesan cheese and I had some grapes. He had chips with his. I feel like tomorrow I'm not going to lose a ton of weight. I think I'm going to lose half a pound. I'm going to definitely lose something because I still step on every day. I just don't record the weight but once a week. And last week I was at 173.2 or 0.3 and when I stepped on today I was at 172.8. So that's like 0.4. Anything in that downward direction, I'm here for it. Right? Considering that it's been almost 2 weeks since I've even worked out and I'm still not like tomorrow. I might step on the treadmill tomorrow. Like today, I'm still going to give myself another day because it does boil down to, well, that symbol's done. It does boil down to mostly what you're putting into your body. Last night, I ate some carbs. I stayed up way too late, first of all. And there are these toasted corn snacks that I like from Giant, our grocery store. It's by Aurora. It's like an organic company. They're so good. And I ate quite a bit of those. So that's probably the reason I stepped on the scale this morning and I'm up a little bit from what I was yesterday. Because they were, they're quite salty. Yeah, but that's okay. I'm good. It wasn't like I stuffed myself and I felt sick, but I don't have any more corn snacks in the house, so those won't be eaten the rest of the week. Okay, let's do that triangle. What is that? So I did get stitching done, and I was just watching reruns of The Office. Love that show. And I never get tired of watching the episodes. If you have a Peacock subscription, they have all the episodes on there, and so I do, and so I was watching it on there. And I did start watching Dr. Death, which stars Joshua Jackson and Alec Baldwin and has Christian Slater in it. And it's about the guy, the back surgeon that was finally caught and arrested. It's based on a true story. He paralyzed a patient, killed another one. I mean, just craziness. I'm only on like the second episode, and I don't know why, like, I haven't like been drawn to go back to it. I think if I started watching it again, I would like it. Maybe I'll try watching that tonight. I also have not watched the last Fear Street movie. I don't know why. Nothing is like really drawing me in. And I don't know why. Like, I spent a bunch of time yesterday trying to search for a movie that I didn't have to pay for, by the way. And there's so much that out there that's just crap. So, yeah, it's almost like some of the stuff that I've watched and I've really loved, I wish I hadn't watched it so I could love it again. Do you know what I mean? I need like a good show that I can binge, or just like, I've never seen any of the episodes, so now I get to watch 8 seasons of it. Yeah. No, that's not out there right now. There are shows that I haven't watched that people are like, oh my God, why do you not watch that? I don't know. Okay. See, I need like another Mayor of Easttown show. Like, oh my God, that show was so fantastic. And I am watching American Horror Stories, but they only come out once a week. And American Horror Story is starting in August, so that should be good, but yeah. I need something good to watch. Okay. So today's story is Angelina Rodriguez. At around 9:15 a.m. on Thursday, September 7th of 2000, 41-year-old schoolteacher Frank Rodriguez was rushed to Kaiser Hospital in Montebello, California. Frank was in agony, afflicted by severe stomach cramps that rendered him unable to walk or even stand upright. Ooh, that's had to be, no ma'am. According to his wife, 32-year-old Angelina, he had been suffering from these debilitating symptoms over the last 2 days. She could provide no explanation for the mystery ailment, and neither apparently could the doctors. After running a barrage of tests, their best guess was that Frank either had food poisoning or a stomach flu. Okay. He was discharged that same day with medication to ease his suffering. Angelina was advised to keep him confined to his bed and to ensure that he was well hydrated, and Gatorade was suggested. Yeah, I drank a lot of Gatorade when I was this past week. Over the next few hours, Angelina was the personification of the concerned wife. Obviously, she's involved. Her name is the title of the fucking story, so she's done something untoward, right? She did exactly as the doctors had advised, keeping Frank fed with soup and ensuring that he took in plenty of fluids. She was helped in this by her 13-year-old daughter, Autumn, until Autumn eventually went to bed. So Frank was resting easy by now as well, and so an exhausted Angelina went to the living room and curled up on the couch to watch some TV, and soon she drifted off, waking hours later to find the house dark and silent. A glance at her watch told her that it was just after 3 in the morning. She then rose from the couch and walked towards the bedroom to check on Frank, and to her dismay, she found him lying face down on the carpet, cold to the touch and apparently not breathing. Okay. Angelina reached immediately for the bedside phone and dialed 911, and she tells the dispatcher, "I think my husband is dead." If he's cold, his ass is dead, right? He's cold and he's not breathing. Yeah. And he's probably been dead for quite a while. Now, did she really sleep through it? We're probably going to find out. So emergency responders, both police and paramedics, were soon on the scene, but there was little use for the latter other than to transport Frank's body to the morgue. Frank was autopsied 2 days later with the results inconclusive and the medical examiner unable to determine a cause of death, and this was something that appeared to irritate Angelina greatly. She probably poisoned his fucking ass, because that is in every goddamn story I have read. I have read so many stories in a row now where it's poison. There's a cup. Okay, little side note. Someone sent me something on Instagram, and I almost started to search and try to find it, where it's like a teacup, and at the bottom, teacup and saucer. At the bottom, it says something like, you just drank poison, and then when you lift up the teacup on the saucer, it says bye, like now you die or something. Oh my God, I thought it was so hilarious. I know I'm like misquoting it. However they said it, it was really, really funny. And yeah, because everybody's fucking poisoning everybody. Okay. On the afternoon of Saturday, September 9th, Angelina called the Montebello Police Department to find out when her husband's death certificate would be available. Informed that it may take weeks to determine how Frank had died, Angelina shocked the officer by informing him that she believed her husband had been murdered. By who, pray tell? She then went on to name a likely suspect, a man named Chad Holloway. According to Angelina, she and Frank had volunteered at Angel Gate Academy, a sort of boot camp for troubled youths in San Luis Obispo. Chad was also an instructor at the academy, and she and Frank had recently reported him to the authorities for inappropriate behavior towards some of the students. So she believed that Chad may have poisoned Frank in an act of revenge. How? How would he have poisoned him? Angelina went on to say that Frank had been at the academy on September 5th and had arrived home that evening feeling tired and nauseous. Okay. See, she's setting the scene, right? When she asked if he had had anything to eat or drink that day, he told her that Chad had given him some cookies and Gatorade. How convenient. The following morning, Frank rose feeling under the weather but decided to go to his teaching job anyway, and he was home within hours looking pale and drawn and suffering from severe stomach cramps and bouts of vomiting, and 3 days later he was dead. So I'm guessing, because this is like current day, like it's in 2000 and something, so it's not like cyanide, right? I guarantee you it's like antifreeze or some shit that anybody can get. It's gotta be, right? Angelina would repeat these allegations to LA County homicide investigators during an interview a few days later, but she could not pass up the opportunity to press again for the issuance of the death certificate. She explained to the detectives that Frank had been the sole breadwinner in the family and that his death had left her and her daughter nearly destitute. Her only recourse was Frank's $250,000 life policy, but the insurance company would not pay until the cause of death had been determined, obviously, because most do not pay out for like suicide. The officers assured her that they would do their best to expedite matters, and later they would just marvel at Angela's brazenness, because she had just given herself a motive for murder, right? Yeah, she's putting a big red fucking target on herself. So, of course, the allegations against Chad had to be investigated, naturally. Yeah. But the story he told detectives was markedly different than the one Angelina had told. He said that he and Frank had been friends long before Angelina arrived on the scene and that he had warned Frank against becoming involved with her. Frank, however, had ignored the caution. Within 2 months of meeting Angelina, the two of them were married. People fucking wasting no time. 5 months on from that joyous date, Frank would be dead. Wow, they were only married for 5 months. As for the allegations of impropriety, Chad insisted that they had been made by Angelina alone, that they had been investigated by the local police, and that they had turned out to be unfounded. Chad also told the detectives that despite Angelina's claims, he had not given Frank anything to eat or drink on September 5th. So she fabricated that, or it's his word against hers, right? By now, the detectives working Frank's case were following another line of inquiry, one that yielded some interesting results. Talking to Frank's life insurance company, they learned that Angelina had phoned to inquire about her payout just 7 hours after Frank was found dead. 7 hours? You would think that you really wouldn't be thinking about that right then. 7 hours? You're like still in shock from your husband is dead. Right? Right? Guess not, right? They also learned that this wasn't the first time that Angelina had sought to benefit from the untimely death of a family member. Back in the early 1990s, she had cashed a $50,000 policy on her 13-month-old daughter, Alicia, after the toddler choked to death on a pacifier. Wow, that's awful. She and her then-husband had later sued the manufacturer, Gerber and Company, gaining a $750,000 out-of-court settlement, of which Angelina had personally walked away with $250,000 of it. She and her husband had divorced soon after, with Angelina gaining custody of her other daughter, Autumn. She had then moved to Paso Robles, California, and embarked on a spending spree, buying a house, a new car, and a boat, as well as expensive designer clothing and perfume. It was while living in Paso Robles that she met Frank Rodriguez. Why in the fuck was she buying a boat? What was she going to do with that? I understand getting a house, a car. I don't know. People get that kind of money, and they go crazy. If you were smart, you could invest some of that and not have to work. But, yeah. Okay. The next symbol, we're going to do this little one right here, which is 3863. There's only a couple of them, so let me just do those. Okay, so on September 26, 2007, LA County detectives received a call from Frank's mother, Janet Baker, who had some information to share. Oh, I bet she did. I bet she had some information. Let me do these couple because, God, that's the only thing I hate about all the clumpy diamonds. Because I only need one more. There's one right there. Get over, flip over. There you go. Oh no, shit. I need 3 more. God damn it. All right, Okay, so she said that Angelina had told several members of the family that she believed Frank might have been poisoned by a toxin derived from the oleander plant. Have you seen that movie with Michelle Pfeiffer, White Oleander? It's based on a book by Joyce Carol Oates, which I read and loved, and then saw the movie. Oh my God, the movie is so good. It's a drama, and it's brutal, but it's good. It's so good. God, there's more up there. It's like they're multiplying. They just keep multiplying. But not really. Okay, I think that's it. Okay. According to Janet, Angelina had seemed quite knowledgeable about how to cook up a poison by boiling the leaves and bark of the oleander plant. However, when detectives asked Angelina about this, she pretended not to know the name of the plant, referring to it only as those flowers you see at the side of the freeway. And this served only to deepen the suspicion of investigators. In mid-October, detectives arrived at Angelina's Montebello home and found the place empty because Angelina had moved back to Paso Robles. All right, let's do that symbol. 223. So she wasn't exactly lying low, however. She continued to hassle the investigators for her husband's death certificate. When those calls failed to produce the desired result, she decided to up the ante. On October 19th, she reported to police that she had received an anonymous call from a man who had told her about a conversation he had had with Chad Holloway. Oh boy, this guy again. According to the caller, Chad had confessed Frank's murder to him, saying that he had poisoned Frank with antifreeze. What did I fucking tell you? Proving Angelina's lie in this case was an easy matter. Really? It was? All the police had to do was to check her phone records to confirm that there was no incoming call at the time she claimed to have spoken to the anonymous tipster. She had, however, provided the police with a possible method of murder, which they now passed on to the medical examiner's office. You big dummy. In early December 2000, the coroner was able to confirm that they had found lethal levels of ethylene glycol, a key component of antifreeze, in Frank's system. And they were also able to determine that Frank had ingested the poison during the last 6 to 7 hours of his life. And since Angelina had been the primary caregiver during those hours, it put her firmly in the time frame of doing it. So by mid-January 2001, the tests for oleander were back, confirming that Frank had indeed ingested poison derived from this plant in addition to the antifreeze that had killed him. Jesus, she wasn't like playing, right? Detectives now believe that Angelina had first tried to poison him by this method, resulting in his hospitalization on September 7th. Okay, so she tried to poison him by the plant, and that didn't fucking work. So now we got to pull out the big guns, right? Then, after Frank was released from the hospital into her care, she decided to speed things along by adding antifreeze into the mix. Oh, I just remembered. I did watch a movie last night while stitching. I watched Rear Window, Alfred Hitchcock, the old one. It's so good. I forgot how good that movie is. And it reminded me of my grandfather, because my grandfather loved those old-time mystery movies. Okay, anyway. So most likely, she had stirred the toxic substance into the Gatorade that doctors had recommended. Since antifreeze has a sweet taste, it would not have been detected. See, I told you that. Frank would have consumed it willingly, coaxed to take just one more sip by his loving wife, and he wouldn't have suspected a thing. Frank, poor Frank. On February 7th, LA County detectives arrived at the Paso Robles apartment that Angelina shared with her daughter Autumn and her new boyfriend. Wow, she didn't waste no fucking time either. The time for subterfuge was over. The investigators came right out and told Angelina that they had an abundance of evidence linking her to the death of her husband. Angelina was emphatic in her denials, but was arrested anyway and charged with murder. A subsequent search of her residence turned up a quite shocking piece of evidence relating to the death of her 13-month-old daughter, Alicia. Oh, no. No, 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 no. This was a sworn statement which had never been introduced into evidence during Angelina's lawsuit against Gerber and Company. In it, an expert witness stated his firm belief that Angelina had deliberately broken a piece off the pacifier and lodged it in her own baby's throat, causing the infant to choke to death. Why? Why would you do that? Would a woman who would murder her own baby for money think twice about doing the same to a man she had only recently married? No, I'm guessing not. The detectives didn't think so, and their subsequent inquiries only served to strengthen that belief. They learned that Frank was Angelina's fourth husband. Good night. And that she was already talking about ending the marriage within weeks of exchanging vows with him. The honeymoon was quickly over as she started spending weekends in Paso Robles away from Frank. Most of that time was spent with a friend, Palmyra Gorham, and she soon started an affair with Palmyra's nephew. Jesus. She also frequently talked about ending her marriage to Frank, although she said she would rather kill him than divorce him so that she could gain access to his $250,000 life insurance policy. Like I said, these people think they're going to get away with it. Oleander and antifreeze were both frequently mentioned as potential methods of murder, although Angelina confessed to Palmira that she had once tried to kill Frank by loosening a gas line before she left for the weekend. Wow! She hoped that Frank would be asphyxiated or that the house would blow up. Unfortunately for her, Frank had detected the smell of gas and had called the gas company. Jesus. Everyone in Angelina's Paso Robles circle had thought that Angelina was joking about wanting to kill her husband. In fact, Frank's imminent murder had become kind of a running joke among the group of friends, but now, however, it was clear that Angelina had been deadly fucking serious, right? Something that weighed heavily on Palmira. Realizing that she had inadvertently been party to planning a murder, Palmira decided to contact the police, and it was not difficult to convince her to testify against Angelina. So in March 2001, Palmira received an unexpected call from Angelina, who was by now being held at LA's Twin Towers Correctional Facility pending her trial. During that conversation, Angelina tried desperately to dissuade Palmira from testifying against her, warning her that she might be considered an accomplice and might end up in jail. The conversation was, of course, recorded, resulting in a charge of witness tampering. Oh boy. Then Angelina dug herself deeper into the hole by trying to arrange a hit on Palmira. Oh my God. The authorities got to hear of this via a jailhouse snitch and set up a sting using a police officer to pose as a hitman. The result was yet another charge to Angelina's burgeoning rap sheet, this time for conspiracy to commit murder. Angelina went on trial in Los Angeles, California on September 29, 2003. She entered a plea of not guilty and offered the defense that Frank had committed suicide because he was distraught over her plans to divorce him. She also denied killing her baby, saying that the death had been a tragic accident and that she had been vindicated by Gerber's decision to settle. Evidence was also offered regarding Angelina's troubled childhood. Her father was an alcoholic who had abandoned the family when Angelina and her sister were still toddlers. Her single mother was then forced into the job market, and since she could not afford babysitters, often left her daughters in the care of their paternal grandfather who sexually abused them. Oh my God, night. By her teens, however, Angelina had turned this abuse to her advantage. She willingly submitted to her grandfather's lecherous attentions, although she demanded payment in exchange. Twice she got pregnant and had abortions. What the fuck? On several occasions, the first time at just the age of 8, she attempted suicide. That poor woman. It was a tragic tale of childhood abuse, but did it in any way justify cold-blooded murder? No. You always have a choice, no matter what you've endured. The jury didn't think so that's good anyway. In January, it returned a verdict of guilty and recommended a sentence of death. On January 12th, the judge validated that decision, and it was confirmed on appeal in November of 2010. Angelina currently awaits execution at the Central California Women's Facility in Chowchilla. Now, that was in 2010. This is 2021, so she could still be on death row. But what the actual fuck? Like, would she have just continually been with people and then killed them to get the money? Maybe. Kind of like a Black Widow, right? Yeah. Okay. So, whew, that was a doozy of a story, right? We always end on a positive affirmation from A Year of Positive Thinking by Cindy Spiegel. And today is Wednesday, July 28th. And this is a really short one. So this is called The Determining Factor. Now, this is a quote by Anais Nin. Is that how you say that? A-N-A-I-S, Anais? I don't know, but that's who it is. This is a quote. Life shrinks or expands in proportion to one's courage. I like that. I like that sentiment because it's almost like you get what you wish for. Or, the definition of insanity is repeating the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. I do feel like if you decide to step out there and take a leap for something, that the world will meet you. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Okay. Well, I hope you guys all have a fantastic Wednesday. As always, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below, and I will answer them to the best of my ability. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.